guys, it's Kelly. I'm back with another process video. This layout is for Stuck Sketches, and you just saw the amazing sketch that Laura created. As soon as I saw the sketch, I knew exactly which paper that I wanted to use. I have been hoarding this for just the right moment, and I decided that this sketch just screamed for me to use it. So I am going to fussy cut out several of the flowers. I'm just putting on a TV show and just going to fussy cut as I'm watching something on TV. If you haven't done this, this is like the perfect activity to do while you've got something else going on. So I'm not going to make you sit through all of this because it did take a while, but I will just say that I find that it's easiest when I keep my right hand straight with the scissors and use my left hand or non-dominant hand to move the die cut or move the paper around, and really just helps make a difference. So I have cut out several of the large flowers. I think actually all of the large flowers that were on the pattern paper. And I knew that I wanted to use my embroidery floss and make some hand stitching on some of the flowers. So the flowers on some of them have like little lines or longer lines. Sometimes the middle may have like a cross. So I'm going with the design of the flower and just punching holes through, I don't know about a distance. I'm just I go from the one end to the other, and then I just kind of halfway through the different lines. I don't have like a template for even hole punching. I wish I did, and if I could find one, I would definitely buy it. But for now, this is working just fine. So I went through my stash of floss, and I have bought some at Michael's, but I also cross-stitched years ago, so I do have a healthy supply of DMC floss. So I just went through and I matched the colors of floss that I'm going to use on the colors of the flower, because I wanted these little details to be subtle. Ones that when you look at you really see, but not in different colors. I wanted to follow the same color pattern that the paper had designed. So again, I'm not going to make you watch me do all of these because it did take a few hours, I will not lie. I am just doing a simple back stitch though through all of the different details, and I will be back and show you a few close-ups of some of the flowers, and I just love the way that they turned out. So part of this collection included this pattern paper, and I thought it would be silly to reinvent the wheel when I had this pattern paper begging to be used. And I thought to myself, I usually like a white cardstock. I am going to do another pattern paper background if it kills me. And I did it, and I love the way that it came out. It did have a couple challenges, which I will talk to you when we get there. And but I was proud of myself for persevering and making it work. So I'm just trying to figure out the I guess the balance of the flowers. The sketch calls for 2 photos, and I did have these 2 photos of my daughter and one of her best friends, and I wanted to use both of them, but it could easily be substituted with a horizontal photo, a 4x6, a 3.5x5, any of those sizes would work. Just because the sketch has 2 smaller photos does not mean that that's what you need to use. So I have decided that I want to back my photos with just one piece of pattern paper, and I'm choosing the colors that are really going to stand out. I originally thought that light pink would make a good matte for one of the photos, but I've changed my mind and I went with a darker pink just because there's so many different bright colors on the page, and I wanted something to be able to hold its own. And I felt like that darker pink would make a little bit more of a statement than the paler pink. So I am going to use some craft foam and just pop up what I consider the main photo. This is, like I said, one of my daughter's best friends, and they play softball together, or they did. Their team disbanded, so it's really sad. So they are going to be going separate ways because the girls just had to find teams to play with. So I wanted to make this page for her, and hopefully these two will be able to play again together. They are so sweet and so cute, and they get along so well. It's a shame that the team kind of broke up. So with me putting down the flowers, I have adhered a few of them just with my ATG gun, and then I'm using some pop dots on a few of the petals of the others. And I'm just trying to kind of weave them in and out so that the flowers just kind of all lace together like a like a ring of flowers. You know how the petals are laced all together, and that was what I wanted to try to do with this page. I love that lavender flower, and I truly wish that there was more of that in the collection. I have never been a fan of scrapbooking with purple or lavender. It's just been a hard color for me to work with, but with this collection, I definitely have loved working with it. And I just, like I said, I wish there was another one. It made my day to actually be stitching that purple flower. So I've spaced the flowers out to a balance that I like. I liked the orange down at the bottom because the yellow flower had that orange center, and I liked the lavender up at the top, just because I felt like it balanced that pink flower. And that those are a little bit of my thoughts when I'm putting the flowers where they go. And the green flower that went above the photo of my daughter and her friend, that one was an incomplete flower. So that one I knew needed to be tucked behind something so that it could be hidden. So I will tell you that if you see me pressing down on my wrist, this definitely aggravated my wrist a little bit. It's okay. I'm a big girl. I can deal with it. I definitely wanted to do this page. I'm not sorry I did it, but it did take me a couple of days to recover from doing all of the stitching and the fussy cutting. It's definitely a lot better than it was, but it just amazes me how a sprain from, gosh, it's probably been 4 months now, can still flare up. So this is part of my struggle. I'm going through different embellishments from all of Paige's collections. I'm not just sticking with this one collection. I'm trying to find things that will work. I really wanted to use a big title. I felt like that the flowers were kind of big, and they made a bold statement, so I felt like it really needed a bold title. So I went through, and I didn't really see anything that would either work. It was just either not the right color or not the right word. So I'm kind of at this point at a loss because I'm not sure what I'm going to do, because I had really counted on some of her thickers to make the title. And then I pulled off this piece here. It says, "You wonderful thing." And I thought that would be perfect. And it's just me now trying to figure out exactly how I want to place it, because I want to be able to read all of the words and not have it obscured by the flower, since it's going to be my title. And the reason why I feel like this works, there's a couple reasons. First, it's black and it's high contrast, and it really draws your eye to what it says. And the second thing is it's about the same size as some of the flowers. So it's holding its own. It, just goes to show that just because you have something set in mind that you want to do, there's ways to get around it if you get stuck. And for me, it was just kind of thinking, all right, well, none of the script words work. Let's see what else I can find, because I knew that I had to have something with all of the different collections that I have of hers, and this worked well. So you're going to see me go through some different things. I'm going to move around some enamel dots. I felt like this would be the perfect page to get some of my enamel dot stash used, and I still don't even make a dent in what I have, but that's okay. There's several on the page. And I'm going to move around that pink sticker. It is a little phone and it says love you and XOXO. And actually the girls are both on their phone. The picture of them facing away. They're both on their phone doing stuff, with one another. So I just thought that was appropriate as well. So I did pull out another puffy sticker that said happy heart, and that landed right on top of the photo of the two of them. I felt like that worked well. So when it came time for journaling, here was the other thing that I was kind of stuck with. I thought about taking a little bit of gesso or white acrylic paint and just blending out that background a little bit. But then, part of me kind of worries that if I do that, I'm going to mess it up. It just depends on my mood, whether or not I'm going to do any mixed media or I'm going to be that brave. So I decided that if I just trimmed the journaling and put it all together, that it would be a lot easier to read. And in person, it's very easy to read. So that did work. So that's just another idea if you don't want to put acrylic paint or gesso on a busier background, that, there are ways around it. So this is a Project Life pack that I found at Tuesday Morning, and this is like the perfect addition. It's like these pieces were made for this collection, and I end up pulling off a few butterflies and a hello phrase, and I think that is it. Yeah, 3 butterflies and that hello phrase, and I try to see if anything else can work, but the colors worked perfectly, and they had some cutesy but not too cutesy, so I don't know if that even makes sense, but some of the animals in the Project Life kit just would work well with this collection by Paige as well. So that was a happy find. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to link the Stuck Sketch blog in my details section below. Be sure and check it out. I think it's a fantastic sketch, and I have really enjoyed seeing what other team members have done with it, and I hope that you guys enjoy it as well and play along. If you do, be sure and link it up to the blog. It does not have to be published on a blog. It can be on like scrapbook.com or on a Flickr account or even on Facebook, just somewhere where we can see it, and you will be entered to win a prize or two. I have some close-ups at the end where you can see the details of the beautiful flowers and the rest of the layout. So thanks so much for joining me, guys. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.